that was the nerdiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, the fashion of Supernatural, I guess in the same way that the symbols and sigils of Supernatural interested you very much. I was always interested in the fashion, because I'm a conceited little fuckboy, and clothing is very interesting to me, especially on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. Wardrobe and choice of, like, you know, color and style has always been very interesting to me, what they choose for characters. And Supernatural, like, more than any other show that I've ever seen, except for maybe like superhero shows, have been very reliant on, like, sticking to a theme with clothing.
Right.
Like, Sam and Dean have, like, they've worn the same thing. Like, other than color, they've worn the same thing for the 13 seasons.
Flannel and
that it's been
jeans.
on. Yeah, it's, like, very specific, though. Mm-hmm. It's not just flannel and jeans. It's, like, Sam wears the very specific, like, he wears a plaid shirt with a V-neck undershirt, and Dean wears his, like, open button down with a black or dark gray t-shirt underneath. Yeah, it's really specific. Like, you never see Dean with his shirt buttoned up, you never see Sam with his button down unless there's, like, a reason for it to be that way. Like, when Dean was living with Lisa and Ben, he started having his shirt buttoned up because it was like he was all domesticated and, you know, he was being all dad, like construction worker or whatever he was doing. And so unless there's a reason for it, they always, and it's kind of like they're superheroes in a way. Like, they have their costume, they have their uniform that they wear. But there's also, and I am about to geek the fuck out on this.
I'm telling you, I've heard him ramble on and on about this stuff, and, like, it does hold a candle next to what I just geeked out about it. Yes, it does.
Yeah, so there's a theme to that kind of stuff. I didn't realize it until, and you can put a link to it if it's still there. There was a website, like a live journal, that I read a long time ago. I was probably 18 or 19. That kind of talked about how it's not just a coincidence that it seems like the writers actually do kind of use clothing as almost a tool in the plot of the show. A perfect example of that is when Dean was a demon, and he wore his little red button-down shirt.
Oh yeah.
Whenever he was a demon, most, like, the big scenes of him being a demon, not every scene, but, like, the really notable ones. And then throughout the rest of the season, whenever he was kind of going back to that. So, like, whenever he had a little resurgence of demonisms. And then the finale, too, when he was, like, all in, he was about to kill Sam, he wore that shirt. He wore that shirt when he was,
Was he wearing that shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wearing the black. Okay,
he
right.
was wearing that shirt.
He knows, I don't...
It got bad. Like, it got to, like, I could tell you what Dean wears in almost every episode of the show.
What does he wear in Lazarus Rising?
Which one is that? You gotta remind me of the episode name. I'm not great with the episode names.
Season 4, episode 1.
When he comes back, he was wearing a blue, like, work shirt button down with a black t-shirt and blue jeans, and then later he changes into, it actually looks like one of Sam's shirts because it has those weird, like, hexagon snap buttons, and he's wearing, like, an olive green kind of V-neck shirt, which again is, like, not something he would wear, so you can tell it's dude,
so nerdy.
It gets bad. Like, it's
so
really bad.
nerdy, man.
But it's so, like, interesting to me, and
it gets bad.
It's, I don't know, it's just really...
Let's get really bad, Jackson. Let's see how bad it gets.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. He has, like, a lot of jackets. He has which I've never really understood that. Like, their trunk is full of guns. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they're storing all these.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that a couple times. Yeah.
And they're 9,000 pairs of diesel jeans. But, yeah, so another good example that website mentions is when Dean, the first few seasons of the show, he has what the website calls the red plaid shirt of angst, which he wears whenever he's being all, like, brooding and pissy, and it's a flannel. And in season 1, he actually doesn't really wear a lot of flannels. Like everybody always says, like, oh, flannel's it, but he really, I think the only flannel he
I
wore.
feel like he just wears like a t-shirt and like a.
He wears like work shirts.
Yeah.
Like mechanic, like Dickies or Carhartt,
Yeah.
like construction. Or
With John's jacket over it.
Yeah. Which would make sense too, because that's how John dressed.
Yeah.
So he dresses, which you see later, like in the later seasons when he's kind of being less like his dad.
Yeah.
He starts wearing more plaid and kind of dressing in
You
his
know,
own way.
I never really noticed how much flannel Sam wears until.
See, Sam wears a shitload of flannel. Sam wears a lot of plaid and flannel.
Oh, except in that in Lazarus Rising. Do you remember what he was wearing when you first see him?
See, I'm not as good with Sam. I'm more.
He was wearing that douchebag douchebag dress shirts with the pattern on it by the like shoulders and everything. Because he went to a hotel room and
with the flowers.
Yeah, it was a little floral looking pattern.
I hate that shirt.
Yeah,
that
I
shirt
hate
was
it.
So stupid.
That set the bar for beginning of that season.
It makes
man.
him look like he's like on Jersey Shore or something.
He's being a dick, and he was being a dick because he was boning Ruby and drinking up all of her demon blood and shit and
drinking it all up.
Drinking it all up.
Yeah. So, like the classic Dean look that I think everybody tries to recreate with whenever they dress up as Dean is like the Dickies work shirt, like the blue work shirt, and then black t-shirt, and then the amulet. And that's another thing too is that Dean has
the Samulet.
The Samulet. Dean has a lot more accoutrement than Sam. Like
he's got a ring.
He has a lot of it reminds me of Jack Sparrow kind of because he has these little accessories that he's picked up over his years of doing things like his ring.
He has like bracelets too.
Yeah, he had these. He wore bracelets for the first few seasons and then kind of ditched them.
I think maybe when he came back from hell, they were just like Cass is like, nah, he doesn't need rings. He doesn't need those.
That doesn't look good on you.
He doesn't need those. Nah, just leave him in hell.
Is he like an old smoking ant?
Nah, leave him. Leave him in hell. No. You just need to bring Dean back. Those don't even look good on you. Those don't look good on you, Dean.
But and I think he wears his mom's ring for a while. It's a silver ring. I'm pretty sure it was his mom's or supposed to be his mom's. And then he has obviously like the little amulet, that's a big deal. It's like everything, like all of the really notable inanimate objects on Supernatural are all Dean's. Like the Impala and his leather jacket and the Samulet and I can't think of I think those are like the main things, but they're all his. Like with the exception of I guess like Cass's trench coat. It's like most of the things belong to Dean. Sam doesn't really have anything like that.
A laptop.
Yeah, but it's not like one specific laptop that's like the end all thing.
I feel like who first used the demon killing knife? Like because you could take these two weapons, the Colt and the demon killing knife, and assign them to two people, but like
I guess Ruby because it's Ruby's knife. That's what they always call it.
But then again, Sam was the one who really wanted to get the Colt back.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking if we were to take the Colt and the demon knife, who would?
Honestly, if I would affiliate the Colt with anybody, it would be John.
It would be John.
Yeah, but yeah, like Sam doesn't really have anything like that. Which again, it's just like they always pay more attention to Dean as a character. I feel than Sam.
Yeah.
Unless they go out of their way to pay more attention to Sam, but yeah, it really does seem like they use clothing in a certain way. They use it as a tool to kind of set the tone.
Did you just do your study in did you major in Dean's fashion and do like a minor in Sam or?
I didn't minor in Sam. That was just kind of by proxy from majoring in Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of picked up on a lot of Sam's as well.
Are you gonna go back and get
Bobby's too? Like I have Bob. I'm thinking about it. I might go for an associate's. Right now I just have a certificate in it. But I might go for my associates. I don't really see the need though because I already know enough. Like I know.
Well, you can always know more.
No, I don't think so.
What do you know about Castiel's clothing?
Well, it's pretty one-dimensional. There are some.
Is it?
Well, I mean, he wears a different coat a lot of the times. Like he has a shorter one and stuff. But
I think he's gone through like 4 or 3 different trench coats that you see in the show.
A couple different ties too.
Yeah, a couple different ties.
But
one season he doesn't really wear a tie.
Yeah, Which season was that?
I think that's when he comes back from purgatory. No, that's not when he comes back from purgatory. Is it? He comes back from purgatory. He's given like this new like trench coat that's a little shorter.
I feel like it's later. I feel like it's season 10 or something when he's not wearing a tie. Yeah, it is because his daughter, I want to say, Jimmy Novak's daughter, gives him a new tie. I think it's like, oh, it doesn't look good on you or something, and like gives him a new tie, and from then on he's wearing. Like,
oh wait, or maybe she just takes it off. I think she just takes the tie off. I don't know. I'll have to find out.
I don't know. But either way, Dean is like my main dude with that, and I swear to God, like it like I could tell you like what shade of like black or gray T-shirt he wears in an episode. It's that bad. It's that bad.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, about that, leave a comment. And, like ask me any questions.
I get asked about it too. Like back in the day when people would send me like pictures of their cosplay and stuff. Like, oh, I'm dressed like Dean, and I wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, oh, it looks good, but it would be like that's not good. Like it would be good, but it's like, oh, he doesn't wear that shade of green. Like that's too pine green. He wears like army green. But yeah, no, it's really bad. But it's just, I don't know why it's so interesting to me. I mean, I've always been interested with that kind of stuff with TV shows that I watch. Like, I don't know why. It's just my thing, I guess. I should be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
Or work on a wardrobe on a show.
Yeah.
But
and I can just design symbols, and you can just
put
them on shirts.
You could do the background for symbols and stuff, and I could just design the wardrobe. And then boots, that's another thing. And actually,
boots?
Yeah, they're boots. Like they have very...
I never really noticed it. I never really looked at their shoes.
They have very, like, so... In season 1, Dean wears black boots. It's the only season that he wears black boots. Okay. From the rest of the show, he's always worn brown boots.
Fucking nerdy as fuck.
But he wears... yeah. No, I mean...
No, continue.
Cool. Yeah, I'll admit it.
Continue.
I still don't think it's as nerdy as your thing.
Sure, buddy.
But I just don't, like... But, again, I don't have a whiteboard. I could have, though. I could like drawn out all the shirts, or I could have made like a poster board with like printed out.
You probably,
yeah.
You would print it out, make a collage.
Oh yeah, yeah. He would like. Dean wears like laced boots, like steel toes, and Sam wears like the ones like the slip-ons.
Okay.
And that's all like they've always.
Well, what shoes has he worn from like season 2 and going on?
It's pretty much the same from what I can tell. Well, so in season, like the end of season 7, he starts wearing like logger boots, which are like a little higher up and are laced up to the top. They're not steel toes.
How can you tell they're not steel toes?
Because I looked it up.
Okay.
And
that's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it comes from the fact that when I was younger, I used to want to dress like Dean. Like, I wanted to dress exactly like him.
Oh, you're such a huge fucking fan nerd.
Oh, yeah, all the time. But not for, like, like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be Dean. It was just because I thought the way he dressed was, cool, like, really cool. Mm-hmm. Like, I just thought he dressed
Yeah, you wanted to be Jensen Ackles. Sorry.
Pretty much. I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
I mean, right, yeah.
So.
Yeah, so, okay.
Separately nerdy in our own
ways, yeah. I believe I believe that Castiel, or his trench coat, he's got like, there's like one trench coat for every episode. Like he's just got like his kit. The department has like a ton, like rows of trench coats.
Different one for every episode of the show.
There is a man, I could be mistaken, but I thought I watched an interview and they asked about like a similar question about like the trench coat or whatever, and he was like, there's like there are rows in costume.
I mean, I'm sure there's trench coats. It's kind of like the Impala.
There's like 6. There's 5 or 6 Impalas. Like one's like functional, but you can't really drive it on the road because it doesn't go that fast or something like that.
Yeah.
The other one's it's basically just used for when they pull in to like a parking space or something like that. Right. The other one's just used for when they're in front of like a green screen. Mm-hmm. And there's another one that's just this. I'm not gonna say it's a prop because Baby's not a prop, but it's its own character in the background. It's not. And then there was one that actually does function, and in the episode, it was like a bottleneck episode where basically the episode takes place in one setting, and it was the episode where it was all from inside the car.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good episode.
It's called Baby.
Is it called Baby?
I think so.
Okay.
That was early in season 11.
But
that was one of the last episodes I watched.
That was
in
a great
in a row.
We need to finish watching. That was a great, like the way it was shot. It was really good, and I believe they put them in the car with the different cameras in there and just told them to go, and just drive and go.
Right.
And then they just didn't really have any directions from there, so they just started saying their lines. But
they probably could have just improv that whole episode. How long they've been Sam and Dean.
Probably. I'm betting that's some of that was. Yeah. But yeah, man, there's quite a few Impalas.
Dean also wears a lot of Henleys. That's kind of his alternate to, like, I guess when he doesn't want to wear a button down or wants to switch it up a little crazy. He'll wear a Henley, sometimes wear a t-shirt underneath it, sometimes he won't. There was like one episode where he wore a white Henley, which was weird because he doesn't, like, neither of them wear white that often. Though Sam is more prone to.
With his floral.
Yeah, and in season 1, Sam dressed like really differently. Like I guess it was because he's like getting out of college, so he dressed really preppy. He had a lot of like polos.
Polos with like a hoodie over it, and then like a little jacket
like Dawson's Creek or whatever. Yeah, just very. I mean, he was like 22 in that season, so it makes sense. And then as it goes along, he kind of develops more of a pattern. But Dean's always had the same thing. It's so weird to me because it's like the same thing since season 1. The show's been on for like 13, 14 years, and he has dressed exactly the same. Could you imagine a person being like that in real life? Like from 26 in the first, like 26 to, I guess he's like almost pushing 40. He's almost 40 years old, just dressing exactly the same, like Hank Hill or Homer Simpson. Like, it reminds me very much of a cartoon. Like, he dresses exactly the same, except for color, in every episode.
That's an interesting perspective there. I never really thought about that.
Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just very bizarre to me. And
because eventually you have those shirts. You know what? Eventually these shirts will wear and tear from all the fighting that
a lot of
the
them
show.
do.
But
let's get into that.
Yeah.
A lot of them have. So there's a lot of shirts that have the buttons are cut off. There are some shirts that have like tears in them, like not really that noticeable. And then a lot of the times when like a scene happens where he gets a lot of blood on him or something, you won't see that shirt again. Like there might be one very similar to it, but the stitching on the pocket might be different, or the seams might be different.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, a lot of this stuff is not stuff that I just noticed on my own. A lot of this stuff.
You defend yourself.
No, but really, like, I'm not that meticulous. A lot of the stuff is on that website. Like it shows stuff like that. I didn't take the time to notice all the stitching on the pockets.
Hey, but you know what, Jackson? If you did, it's okay.
I wish I did. Honestly, that would have been awesome. But I can't take credit for that. I'm not.
I'll admit there are several times I'll be watching an episode, and particularly Lazarus Rising, because when you watch the episode where they're trying to summon Castiel, if you like pause it and like look around, you can see all the different symbols that are written all over because they're all over the place, and there are quite a few that I recognize. Like for example, there was a pitchfork drawn on there, and I was like, is that like the symbol for
Satan?
Yeah, it's actually it's in this book. Not this book. It's in the Mythology of Supernatural. It's the sigil of Satan, which is just the pitchfork. But I looked at it and I was like, dude, is that Neptune? And I looked it up.
Trident.
And the symbol for Neptune's a trident, but it has a line through it at the bottom, and it has like little points at the top.
That's pretty cool. So
Neptune, not the demigod Neptune, but like the planet.
Right. No, yeah, I figured.
The mystic, I think.
No, I absolutely no idea.
I'm referring to Holst. He had a movement of these different pieces about planets. Like Jupiter, the bringer of validity. Mars was the bringer of war. Yeah, Jello. And
Jupiter, the bringer of Jello.
I think Neptune's the mystic.
Neptune, being all mysterious.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so what shoes does Sam wear though?
I told you he wears slip-ons.
He wears slip-ons what? Slip-on Crocs? I don't know. What?
Yeah, slip-on Crocs.
He wears Crocs every episode.
Every single episode
yeah.
he's wearing slip-on orange Crocs.
Why orange?
I don't know. You have to ask him that.
It's very vibrant.
No, he wears like slip-on. It's like Cap, just some construction brand of boot, which is like the same as Dean. I mean, I have a pair of steel toes like it, like the ones that Dean wears. It's like it's just steel toe, like Caterpillar.
You know, I used to wear steel toe boots when I was working construction, and later my dad pointed something out, and he was like, you know, wearing steel toe boots when you're in construction, it sounds like a good idea, but if something heavy enough falls on your foot, and it bends that steel and goes right into your toes, and you don't have any toes anymore. You're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that.
It's very the way that I guess both of them dress, but Sam's a little more risque with his fashion choices. He goes a little out. It's very like.
What about all the hunters? Don't all the hunters kind of have like the same? Yeah,
it's all kind of the same. It's like it's very.
Even the ones who are brought into it, like Jody and Claire.
Very middle America, like blue collar way of dressing. You know, like it's cold, like. Yeah, and I mean they film it in Vancouver, so it makes sense that it's all kind of done like that, where they wear multiple layers. Like you never see them in shorts, or that would be very weird. You never see any of them wearing white because you get blood and dirt all over you. So it makes sense. It's very functional, function over fashion.
He was I feel like Sam wears like white V-necks a lot.
Well, see, that's where Sam kind of takes that's the college in him. He kind of goes a little more, he goes a little more out there with his choices.
Yeah. I've got some white V-necks, but I like wearing them because they're thin and they breathe.
They breathe.
Yeah, they breathe.
That's probably why Sam wears them. Yeah. You know, he's always jogging and shit.
Yeah.
He's gotta. He don't care about that.
I watched this outtake of the. You remember when he was jogging around or staying at a hotel and he comes back in, they're drinking he starts drinking that juice or something like that. Yeah. There's an extended clip of that where he keeps doing all these stretches.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and it's just.
And Dean's just like looking.
He keeps talking, and it's great because they get through the scene, and it's just so funny. I think Sam Jared's trying to he's trying to break him or something, but it doesn't work. But and what I thought was really funny is Jimmy Novak in the show when he's talking to Castiel, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna say yes, Castiel, cool." He it's like a ritual, so
he gets like ready.
Yeah, he takes a shower, he showers up, he shaves, and then he puts on a suit. He puts on his overcoat, his trench coat, whatever, and he's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress up to.
It's like he's going to church or something.
Dress up, kick some ass.
Which maybe that is what it was. Maybe he was like dressing up to go to church, sort of the vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Crowley always wears like a nice.
It's black, he
sometimes a dark red.
Almost all black. Yeah. Yeah, like a paisley tie, like something like that.
And a pocket square.
Mhm. Yeah, he's dressed very kind of a dark flamboyance to it, which is very fitting to his personality, his character. Yeah. And then Bobby dresses that same way. He wears a lot of vest jackets. Mm-hmm. And he's got a few different of his little trucker caps and stuff like that. And you see a couple times where Dean is dressing in Bobby's clothes, like the very beginning when he gets out of hell and he goes to Bobby's.
Yeah,
he's wearing a shirt that looks like something Bobby would wear.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have access to his own.
He had he got out, and I guess he was I don't know if he was. I guess he was wearing the flannel when he got out.
Something that's really weird that I actually noticed. This isn't from the website, but the first 3 seasons, Dean wears a lot of light gray T-shirts, like undershirts, instead of black and dark gray. I mean, he wears those too, but he wears a lot of light gray occasionally. Undershirts. He actually wears a light gray undershirt when he gets killed by the Hellhound, and when he's hanging from the chains and everything.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and it's all shredded. After that, when he gets out, gets out of hell, he never wears one again, except for when he's with Lisa in bed.
What's weird is when he gets out of hell, he's wearing a black shirt.
Yeah, well, that's what they buried him with. I guess they changed him and buried him to give him a.
I think because you know what, it was weird because Sam was being all creepy, I don't want to burn his body because he's gonna need it. He's gonna need it when I get back. Yeah. So it was kind of creepy.
So.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like he wore it for however many decades he was in hell, so he was like, nah, I'm not really feeling the. Maybe it's like triggering.
Yeah, and when he got out, I don't know if he was wearing the flannel when he got out, because I don't think he was. But at some point, because you see him reaching out with his hand, there's like a black sleeve, and that's it.
When he gets out, he's wearing a blue button down.
He is? Okay, because then when you see
he wraps
him,
it around his
yeah,
face.
that's what I was getting to. Like, you see him, you rarely see him with it on, because immediately he puts it around his waist. Mm-hmm. And then even when he goes and he finds...
Because it's hot.
Wait, is it back on when he goes and he finds Bobby?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then when he makes the phone call, it's not on.
Yeah. Because you see him, because that's how they led it into him finding that mark.
He's like, wait, what arm was it? I think it's this arm.
Is it?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about, because, let me think. No, left one. Because when they're sitting there, Pamela needed something to touch that the whatever pulled him out of hell touched. Mm-hmm. So he's sitting to her right, so she puts her hand on him.
Nice. But yeah, so and there's other little things like his purgatory jacket. That's a big one, like the one that he only wore when he was in purgatory.
Yeah.
Which was the other leather jacket, and then obviously his dad's leather jacket is his like superhero jacket. That's like the one that's is most notable.
And I know that and in a way the Castiel's trench coat, or his coat, whatever you want to call it, is sort of like symbolic of like a of like a passing a torch, I guess, or like, you know, because when he comes back from when he's like, he thinks he's a faith healer, then he realizes who he is. Mm-hmm. You know, Dean's got that trench coat in his truck.
Yeah.
Like, he kept
it's like they're superheroes. It's like they have
here's your costume.
Yeah, it's like
here's
your thing.
Put it on. Let's go be Batman or Robin.
Yeah, it would be like giving Batman his cowl. Like, it's like that's what it is like to me. And again, other shows definitely have costumes and ways of dressing, because it's how you familiarize yourself with a character.
Yeah.
You know, it's you see them wearing that and you're like, oh, he's him. You know.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen it to that extent that it is with Supernatural.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, because I mean, in a way, they are superheroes. You know, they save the world, and you know, they're not entirely human most of the time.
I have seen something similar to that with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I never watched that show.
Some of their you would love that show.
I know.
You would really like it. But some of their shirts, like the one with the horse on it and like the flames in the background, like Charlie Day kept that shirt. He basically stole it from wardrobe, and there's a couple other ones that Rob McElhenney took from wardrobe, and you see him wear it again and again in the show.
I will actually. I just thought of something. There is one other show that I've seen that has that weird like attention to detail with like the consistency of how a person dresses. Mm-hmm. And it's Big Bang Theory, which I hate that show.
I don't like that show.
I hate that show. Just gonna add a little thing, but I have watched it. Like, I watched a few seasons of it, and yeah, they like Leonard, is that his name? Like the main dude, like the nerdy dude. He wears like t-shirt with a hoodie, and then he wears these these thick like corduroy jackets, and they live in Pasadena, like California. That doesn't make any sense to me, but. Yeah, he dresses like on it like Supernatural. Like, he wears like 3 layers of clothing. Sheldon wears like the nerdy shirt, and then he'll wear like an undershirt, a long sleeve undershirt, dressing like a 90s dude with like the t-shirt and then another shirt under it. Yeah. And then the other but with the other dude, Howard, he wears like turtlenecks. Yeah, they have a weird way of. I don't know why. I've
watched, like, I think I've watched one episode of Big Bang Theory, but from everything that I've seen online and everything like that, I got tired of seeing all this crap online and shit like that, and
I watched the first season, and then I've seen a few episodes here or there, but
I'm just disinterested.
Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but like I said, I that's the first thing that I go to and I pay attention to is the wardrobe. Like, the way that they dress. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Breaking Bad actually is kind of like that. I'm starting to like note it, like think about more now. Breaking Bad's that way. Walter White, he wore his like.
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother's like that, but not to the extent that the other shows are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's no, and these are really like sitcoms.
The only sitcoms aren't usually like that. except Big Bang Theory.
Have you watched How to Get Away with Murder?
No.
Let me think. I mean, they're a bunch of college kids, so I don't know if any of their costumes hold some kind of symbolic meaning.
So I mean, like the only person on How I Met Your Mother who obviously has like a costume or a uniform is Barney. He's got his suit. Yeah. But they do that for a reason. They made like that's there for a reason. It's not just there. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Breaking Bad's a big one. But it makes sense though, because Breaking Bad, Walter White was obviously like he was somebody that you would want to be physically memorable. Somebody that you don't even have to think about. Like you can get a picture of exactly what he looks like in your head.
Yeah.
To make the show more.
Or even let's go if we even like go back a little bit. Let's talk about Abaddon. Right. So Abaddon had that dress on because she was about to do the initiation thing with Men of Letters, and then she comes back. She sees that nerdy girl in the costume shop, and she's like, "What's up, B?" Mm-hmm. And I like that shirt. Give it to me, or something like that. Like I like that top.
Exactly what.
And
she's
like, "Hey, girl, take off your clothes." That's exactly how it went down. It's exactly how it went down.
Exactly.
And so she gets the shirt that says "Devil Made Me Do It." And she has that little leather jacket that girl is wearing too. But that's exactly how she dresses for every time you see Abaddon. She's wearing that, and it's not really like the only person I can think of who's like that is like Castiel. He's always wearing the same thing. I'm not really too sure about Crowley because there's not anything in his costume that distinguishes, as far as colors go, that distinguish.
It's mostly.
It's just really dark side.
It's black mostly.
But Abaddon's like I thought that was the devil made me do it. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, like people don't really think about it, but wardrobe is one of the easiest and most effective ways to establish a character without having to say anything. Mm-hmm. It's like you can tell immediately what what kind of person.
Well, yeah, we're very visual creatures. Mm-hmm. Like
But you don't think about it.
Yeah, we don't. No.
It's not like he is wearing this.
It's not necessarily. I'm pretty sure that some people they think about it and like you. But generally, it's like almost in the back of your mind. It's not really like on the surface level right there, like while you're walking around and doing your thing every single day.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people don't notice. What's another one? Like it's not really about wardrobe, but like body language or like facial expression. A lot of people don't notice that. But
posture.
Yeah. Like almost the entire time that we're doing this video, we're mirroring each other. Mm-hmm. No big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool little stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of it's color too. Mm-hmm. Like I can't tell you how many times people at work think that because I'm wearing a red chef coat that I'm important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that I'm like some kind of like a boss or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm wearing like a bright red chef coat.
Yep.
So like, oh, there's a guy I need to talk to.
No, I told you before that like all the time I would dress in like a dress shirt and slacks and stuff back before that we really like got in trouble for that, like not wearing our uniform, and people would think I'm a manager.
Yeah.
And it's just people make the assumption.
And I guess that chef coat of mine is almost in itself a superhero costume.
There you go.
Yeah.
You have your own little thing.
I saved the day.
There you go.
That's right.
But yeah, so we probably wrap this up because I think we've been talking for 3 hours now about.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, about 3 hours.
I think my. So we can go ahead and wrap. We can wrap this up, man.
Okay, so this was easily the nerdiest episode that we've ever done.
Very easy. Easy need to try. All I had to do was memorize some lines at the beginning, and that was
it. So if you like this episode, share it with your friends, family.
Give it a like.
If you have a goldfish.
Yeah, who knows? Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do with this video.
Give it a like on YouTube.
Yeah, throw a like on it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I don't know if we're going to put it on any other platform, but if you can go ahead and throw a like on it if you're watching it on YouTube. Any other platform, subscribe, follow, thumbs up, rate, comment what your favorite part was, who you think is sexier.
Yeah, him or me.
Favorite color. What's your favorite Dean shirt?
And why? And leave some comments, yo. Leave some comments.
What's your favorite symbol?
What's your favorite symbol? Are you going to take any of this and like try to maybe apply it to the show when you're watching it next time?
Watch our previous episode where we talk about Destiel if you haven't. Yeah, and just
Smash.
really, yeah, Destiel smash. And follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram at Jackson the Boyd. I just put out an EP, 5 tracks, Roast Eyes Red. You can find that on my Bandcamp.
I guess throw it out there.
Sorry, man, I gotta do it. I gotta do the plug. You can follow him on Facebook at Danny Wilt. You can also like our Facebook page, Team Free Wilt.
TFW.
Hashtag TFW.
Team Free Will.
Baby. So, yeah.
And also our if you want to email us, we also have the Team Free Will Cast.
TeamFreeWillCast@gmail.com.
Yes, at gmail.com.
So yeah.
So yeah.
That's it.
See
You guys take care.
And watch. Stay tuned for any further videos.
Stay tuned for more episode 6 coming at you hot pretty soon. Later.